All right, guys, we're in the grand finals. In the top right, we've got Shopify Rebellion's Byun, Unstoppable. He's looking pretty damn good today. Just took out Zest in a real tight series, and his opponent in the bottom left, who had a dominating 3-0 in his TvT versus Special. It's Gumiho. Took down his teammate from Storm Gaming there. And Gumiho against Byun, gonna scout a little bit earlier on. Wasn't scouting too much versus Special. He's decided against Byun, gonna show some respect. Barracks about to finish up. We've got Reapers on the way. Orbital Command Center kicking in. Second depot does go down. So pretty similar build orders. When I say pretty similar, I mean literally as identical as they can possibly get. Now keep in mind, Gumiho has the favored spawn. You might wonder, why does he have the favored spawn? Because he is at the bottom, which means his SCV spawned on the side of his command center next to the minerals. Whereas for Byun, they spawned here, further away from the minerals. Therefore, Byun is like 6 minerals behind in this game, and that's going to change everything. It's going to be crazy, man. Because remember, this game is all about spawn location and nothing else. Also, Gumiho's add-on exposed on the outside of the wall. Byun's safe on the inside. See? See, this game is all about random chance. It is not about skill. Now, what's funny here is actually Byun is going to go in with a Reaper, and he should catch this SCV starting the command center. But at the same time, the SCV and the Reaper coming in for Gumiho, they're going to catch the SCV as well. So guys, we're going in for a trade. That SCV will go down, as will this one. Keep an eye on it. That one falls, as does the SCV up here. He's going to go try and take out the extra one. He's trying to build a bunker as Gumiho, which is a very crazy move. Now, he's going to get the Reaper, but he will lose his Reaper. Meanwhile, the Reaper pulls back for Byun, playing it very cautiously. Funnily enough, there was no other unit out for Gumiho. So if Byun went right back in, he could have killed the SCV on this. And that's why Gumiho didn't even send an SCV back onto it. He's trying to get a Marauder and a Hellion out here, doing his very peculiar Gumiho style openings. He's like, yeah, I built a Marauder in the early game. Whereas normally you only see that if it's like Clem doing a Marauder Hellion bust. Hellion's on the way, Reactor, Starport as well. Barracks, Factory, Starport. We've got Hellion Reaper moving on forward. 3 Reapers and a Hellion. That's definitely the better force right now. Marauder's tanky, but he doesn't do much damage to any of these units. So he can tank, but he can't do anything to actually kill them. And another SCV, another delay on the command center. Luckily for Gumiho, he did build his depot well ahead of time. So, oh man, another SCV. That's an easy snipe, man. Yeah. No reason not to take it now. He can bounce that Cyclone back, it'd be good, but he's not able to. Does lose his Hellion. Has a new Hellion coming out. He could turn around on the high ground and fight this, and I think he will. Yeah, Gumiho wisely turns around, because otherwise that Hellion would get one shot, and then those units would start killing his Cyclone. Especially with the power of the ledge, a unit could pull back and break the Cyclone vision using that high ground potentially. It would have been a really hard fight. Byun is going to go for a tank drop behind this. Gumiho, on the other hand, is going to go for the Cloakless Banshee, and he's once again skipping Cyclones. He just does not like Cyclones. He's like, no, tank drop's too popular right now. I hate playing against tank drop with Cyclones. I like building more tanks. Now he goes Raven, so he does pause production here, and that's going to make it a little more awkward, but this tank does cover the most important spots. This is going to be the most preferable spot for Byun to get into. Does he realize though, or does he unload in range of the tank, take a big volley before he goes for it? Oh, he's going to go straight for it. Wow. Oh, he moves into tank range. He's got to be careful there. He's going to siege his tank. It's in range of the gas. It's not in range of the command center. Nonetheless, it causes an issue. Can allow him to do some damage. Nice pickup to break the lock on there. That tank is not quite able to reach that Cyclone. Good micro by Byun. On the other side, the Banshee comes in, grabs 2 SCVs, and pulls out of there. He does not have a Cyclone at home either right now. So both sides skipping that early Cyclone. Gumiho did add his in. Actually, wait, did he get the Cyclone? Maybe he... Oh, no, he already had the Cyclone, didn't he? Never mind, I'm so dumb. He had the Cyclone the whole time. It was just Byun who skipped it. Ooh, auto turret and the lock-on does take out the tank. Nice micro from Gumi Bro. He keeps the Cyclone alive. He'll be good, and he does just that. The Banshee is pulled home as well. Of course, the Cyclone does pop out now. Seeing the Banshee, Byun realizing he absolutely needs to have a Cyclone and a Raven ready in case Cloak does kick in behind that. Banshees, Ravens, Marines, Ravens, and tanks all on the way. Interesting comment from chat. I like how fast games start in StarCraft. And Dota or CS, you can wait for half an hour to start. Oh, yeah. Oh. Yeah, whenever I'm watching other esports, I'm like, get a move on! I have to watch videos a lot of the time. StarCraft is a little bit better, of course. If you're watching a big live tournament rather than a small weekly like what we're casting now, it can be a little different, but... he's only going to get 2 SCVs. Not the biggest value for that auto turret, but the Marine Reaper drop in the main. Hey, good reaction by Gumiho so far. His Cyclone getting blocked a little bit by his SCVs, though. Oh my god, his Cyclone really derping out there. It's frustrating. 5 SCVs going down. Of course, that includes the 2 from the auto turret, so not too crazy. Oh, Byun stays a little deep. He could lose that. Those Vikings could hunt him down because, of course, medevacs are a little slower, I think, than Ravens when they don't have their boost on, or Vikings. And indeed, 2 auto turrets, blasts the medevac, takes out the Marines. And Cyclone and a Marine tank army coming forth as well. The Brewball music has kicked in as these 2 old school gamers starting to fight to the death. Auto turret Banshee going in. Nice Cyclone micro. Byun gets that Banshee down. He keeps that Cyclone alive. And he's rotating here, looking for a push path. Gumiho's down a tank right now. They're both on 2 Ravens, but a lot more energy available for Byun. Gumiho, of course, you can see here, still has that Marauder in the mix. A few of those units looking all right. The Cyclone is deep in the red. It's 1 shot from death. Gumiho unsieging his tank. Pull the boys. He's got to pull the boys right now. Oh, this is a great fight for Byun, but his tanks are a little slow to siege. That could change things. He does focus down the enemy siege tanks and the Cyclones. He'd shift-click those with his tanks. You could see that red dot and that red line between the targets. The Viking land, though, going to focus down his tanks. The tank of Gumiho surviving there, taking out these last few Marines. His next 2 Vikings popping. It looks like Gumiho just barely averting disaster. Halfway done, 1-1 upgrades. We've got 3 barracks as well. So, double eBay just now starting for Gumi. He's got his reactors done, so he's got decent production. He's a little behind on just about everything, but a little behind is not the end of the game. I mean, he's ahead on Stim. Stim only now starting for Byun, so Byun's not really got that Marine macro ball explosion yet. And you can see he's cut production on his barracks in order to get his 4th and 5th racks. Byun's basically saying, look, I don't have Stim, I don't have my upgrades yet. I don't really want to fight for a while. It's more important for me to power up my production, get all 4 reactors going, and now I'll queue the Marines up only after that. So nice way for him to play. Of course, he's building depots 2 at a time as well. Definitely needs to queue up a few more of those. His armory does start a little late. 1-1's already finishing. And remember, you need the armory before you can start your 2-2 upgrades as Terran. For Protoss, Twilight Council is the equivalent of that. For Zerg, you need a lair to start 2-2. Marines are going to come on into that main base. Gets a few of the SCVs, a bit of mining time as well. He's going to pick up the gas guys. I actually would have loved to see him just chase after the SCVs, but he wants to be able to escape with at least some. And those last 3 Marines just going to shift click some SCVs down. And he should get at least 1 or 2 more, but there we go. He gets that 1 SCV on the armory, just being annoying. Oh my god, 4th command center on location behind this? Gumiho. Oh, he's so brave. And when I say brave, I mean a little bit cocky maybe with his macro. Like he just builds more command centers than a normal Terran does. I think it's that innate mech player mindset of I'm gonna just go to the later stage, and the longer the game goes, the better for me it will be. Now I think did he just lose his drop? I think he just lost a medevac over here, right? With the 8 Marines. I think that's it actually. I think it did come back. Because I only see 1 medevac on the units lost tab. So if he had actually caught a medevac over here, then we would have seen 2. Because remember, it was a double drop in the main. And one of the medevacs got shot down on the way in. 4th and 5th barracks are coming up. He's already got a 2nd factory building a tech lab, so double tank production will be coming in. 4th command center not too far behind for Byun as he starts his own 2nd factory. And it feels like Gumiho's closed the gap. Right now, numbers are very even. You've got a Raven up for Gumiho, which gives him an advantage. But he is down slightly in the Vikings and down a little in the siege tanks. You also see that Marine count seems to be climbing a little quicker for Byun. It was identical a moment ago, but now there are 5 Marine advantage for Byun. Of course, Byun's got already his 1-1 upgrades. His combat shields will be done in about 10 seconds, and that's going to equalize at least that part of things. Vikings take down the medevac sensor tower, gets blasted out of there. Gumiho's got to keep that production up in order to defend right now. Ooh, he does do a nice scan there reactively. We're going to tank kill. 6 Vikings versus 6. The Vikings on Byun's side are a little more damaged. And he's already building a Liberator. Neither side doubling down on the Viking fight. And I find that a little surprising because we see how huge that is. The moment you push their Vikings back, he's got to unsiege and leave. 2-2 already almost finished. Gumiho, who's been on the defensive, does he have an armory? He does. It's finished in front of his factory and his natural, but where is his 2-2? I mean, he's attacking with Marines right now, but his house is not in order. He's building 3 command centers right now. He's forgotten his 2-2. Oh, I think a little bit chaotic on his macro, and I talked about this earlier, how Gumiho's bio macro does not look top tier. It really does not. I think his mech macro is much more flawless than his bio macro. He starts +2 weapons. He does try to elevate in here, but you can see Byun had that safe rally point on the high ground. Just grabbed the Marines from the rally, stemmed them over, only loses 3 SCVs, shuts that down, and got to start that +2 armor as well, Gumi. Just +2 attack ain't going to cut it. We could see 3-3 start up at any moment for Byun. Byun's already up on 2 factories, and he's building a 2nd and a 3rd starport, ready for his Raven swap. But the orbital command center is up a bit faster there. 2nd extra 2 orbitals just starting now for Byun. Oh, big push for Byun, opportunistically diving. The SCVs have to be forced out, and Gumiho loses so many workers there, and he loses the position. Ooh, absolutely wrong call to fight that. Wrong call to fight that. And on the right side, he gets busted as well. Oh, Byun is outplaying Gumiho right now. Byun making Gumiho F2 his whole army that wasn't sieged to the left. Now he's reinforcing the right, but that means he can't break down the left, and he should have been able to at least punish those tanks for what could have been an overextension. +2 armor starts for Gumi. Byun, though, he could start +3 attack at any moment, but remember, guys, this is Byun. Anyone want to take bets on if +3 attack or armor starts first? If you do, and you want to go for attack, you're an idiot. It's going to be +3 armor. Any moment now, Byun is going to start +3 armor on these engineering bays for his bio. He does it every single time. It's always bio armor before attack. So keep your eyes out for that one. That's going to be a real highlight. It's very rare that he'll queue up in the other order. Now that tank gets a nice angle. He's going to get a tank kill. He's also got big tank volleys on those Marines on the ramp. Byun does have to fall back momentarily. The upgrades are catching up. That being said, double Raven production for Byun looks pretty nice. Units lost up, of course, in the favor of Byun, but with Master Orbital here, Gumiho can scan all day. He's up to 6 orbitals, and there's 3 up for Byun. He's about to be on 5, though, as those 2 finish, taking another command center out to the side. These 3 tanks do get a nice volley off. Good positioning here by Gumi. And still, that +3 armor, he's forgotten it. So both players a little slow on their upgrades. And oh my god, Gumiho was a full upgrade behind, and he starts this first. And oh my god, I think he started attack before armor, guys. They started at almost the same timing. Oh my god, I think he clicked attack before armor. Has Byun actually corrected this habit of pressing armor first? He might have corrected it. He might have actually corrected that bad habit, because I'm pretty sure that the attack started just a fraction of a second first. Well done. 2 more command centers building. He's trying to get more orbitals, more command centers up. He's already, of course, got that Raven count building. Now, he didn't make Corvid reactor, guys. He did not make the Corvid reactor. Whereas Gumiho's doing that. That means Gumiho's Ravens, once that kicks in, will start popping with an extra 25 energy. It's a pretty nice upgrade, man. It's all about Raven energy building up over time when you're building this sort of army. So definitely fascinating to see where this one goes, as the vehicle plating is already on the way. Gumiho thinking about adding some upgrades to beef up the Ravens, the medevacs, the Vikings. And the Viking count is in the favor of Byun. I really like that. I think that's huge in this scenario, but the more Ravens, tanks, Vikings you focus on, the more static your army is, and the harder it is to overwhelm your opponent and meet them in the open ground. You can see Gumiho's up about 16, 17 Marines right now. Ooh, okay. All right, this is I'm super psyched by this, guys. This is actually very exciting, because you've got the better positional army in terms of the Vikings and the Ravens, but you're actually down 7 siege tanks. So Gumiho, even if he loses a few tanks, he's got more tanks, more Marines. He's got more of a headbutt, a big fighting army but he wants to flank with this. There's no reason, I think, for this army to all be in one position. I really think he should be coming from 2 sides. There we go. A couple units do go down. Nice start to that. And Gumiho, yeah, he leaves 3 tanks. He starts moving through the middle. He's got a big fighting army. Like I said, he's got more Marines. It's a bad fight for Byun. Byun stims forward, and Gumiho's like, no way, dude. My army's way better. And he's going for the natural. I always talk about how the natural is the weak spot in late game TvT that people forget about. Because look at this. And now he's going to move his tanks right up that ramp, sieges them, controlling this area. He already gets a command center. He's going towards the main. Byun is maxed. Byun cannot get back to his production. And Byun, he went for the more slow static army, but he got out of position, and that is what you can never afford to do in that scenario. Good tank siege from behind, of course. The scan for Gumi does mean they trade 1-for-1. Marines, Vikings, Ravens all up in on top of the production. Now he's going to use Interference Matrix and a Marine Stim and a Viking Land to try and get on top, and that's a huge wave of Interference Matrixes. Byun should be able to clear these tanks up. Will it be enough though? Because his main production has already been ransacked. And that is going to, it doesn't matter how much money you have. That's going to take minutes to rebuild. And look, he can't even push up there until his tanks are here. Command center, armory, all the barracks, the factories, the starports all going down. And, oh, the Marines are going to try and take down the Vikings as well. We see double interference matrix on those siege tanks. A triple goes down for Gumiho. Only 1 tank left, but it is doing so much damage. Oh my god. Gumiho is going to win this fight though. It doesn't matter. He's just got too much. He's also on the high ground above that base. And we see the static army out of position. And that is an issue. This is why, guys, when you play that sort of army, you have to be very careful to always have extra tanks, planetaries, and never move your whole army out of position. You always want to kind of fight them front on. And the moment Gumiho went around and got behind him, Byun was screwed because he did not have the Marines to meet him in the open ground. And he had less tanks as well. GG's. What an absolutely monstrous comeback in that last game from the Gumi God. This is, of course, Psystorm Gaming's Gumiho. And his opponent in the bottom left side making a little bit of a mistake there and letting his opponent get around him while he was maxed out. This is Shopify Rebellion's Byun. Now, what we needed to see from Byun there was a much quicker unsiege. He needed to pick up all of his tanks and boost them back in his medevacs and try to get them back into his natural or something like that. But you got to use medevacs to... Actually, he might not have even had any medevacs, or very few of them. But, damn, man. We always talk about, in TvT, how you know, you're looking for weak areas. So often, you'll attack here, half your army, another half the army attacks up here. You know, you pick up from down here and you go in the main. There's all these different ways, but when the players are expanding to the edges and fighting for these fringe bases in the bottom right, in the top left, that sort of thing, often there ends up being a very small force in the middle because everyone's like, well, you wouldn't attack in the middle. That's crazy. That's the easiest for them to get to and defend. But that's where if you realize, well, they're maxed. They don't actually have, earlier in the game, it's impossible because they've got tanks and Marines constantly rallying out to their natural. But later in the game, when they hit max, suddenly they don't have that. They might have 1 or 2 tanks left. And you just, if you get past their army, you just stim up the guts. And if you get in their production in TvT, it's game. Terran players losing their production is how they lose the game. So that is absolutely an issue. Now, Byun does see the factory building. So good job of him going up there with that SCV scout. He's just checking to see if the barracks is down here as well. It is not. And we do see similar openings for both sides. Byun actually a little bit afraid of a proxy. He's building a bunker on the high ground, so very cautious from Byun. I think he thinks he might be getting proxy marauded again. Oh, okay, so he's going to jump up there. Now, Reaper goes across the map for Gumiho. Gumiho is building more Reapers and Hellions, but yeah, this is already, I think, a good start for Gumi, just because Byun's kind of misread, and he sees this, and he's like, oh, cancels his bunker. He says, oh, this is a normal build. Okay. Yeah, I got a little bit tricked. Second Marine can kill this. Oh, Gumi went too deep, and he barely gets out. That Reaper for Byun could go up here and try to trap him. But if you Gumiho, you might just hide in a corner. That Reaper thinking about coming after him. Gumi's going to try and just hide. It's like, hopefully he doesn't see me. Oh, Byun. Oh, Gumiho with a very quick reaction, but the Hellion is there as well. Good catch. Very good catch. Now, he dives past with his Hellion Reaper, which is a very dangerous move because he'll be cornered if he goes in there. So Gumiho showing some great restraint. Killing the SCV would be nice, but if he wasn't quick enough to escape down the right, he would probably be cornered. And even if he did go down the right, they can just come up here and cut you off on your way out the north. Cyclone on the way as well. +2 gas. The gas is getting up there on the natural as well. Ooh. Supply block. Decides to... Oh, Byun. That command center being delayed has messed up his build order a little bit here. Hits a bit of a 39 block. Decides to swap the buildings around. A few cancels in there. Just a little bit of disorganization here. Feels like Gumi just doing his thing. Byun here maybe a little more worried, playing a little more reactive after that last game. And remember, I mean, he got through the early game just fine. He did really, really good. I don't think Byun needs to second guess himself, but he might be. Just because that's such a confidence-busting, absolute dick of a finale to that game one, right? Where he was way ahead was Byun, and then Gumiho's like, nah, man, just gonna run around. Hey, I've got more Marines, and I've got 16 siege tanks. Byun maybe could have just embraced the base trade. Was an option there. May have worked out. Got depots as well. Fourth gas is down. No fourth gas for Byun. A little bit more standard for him. The fourth gas for Gumiho makes me think we're going to see mech. Just because otherwise, why would you take the fourth gas so early? Surely you'd go second and third barracks before it. But remember, actually, Gumiho just builds non-stop tech units and then builds 4 barracks at once. He doesn't get his second and third barracks up at a very crisp timing, does he? It's more about I'm just going to keep pumping out these tech units. I'm actually surprised there's a little gap in his factory production. That's pretty unusual for him. And that's a dead Reaper. At least it should be. The grenade maybe keeps it alive for a moment. Hellion too fast though, does catch it. Tank there as well. So 3 tanks, 3 Ravens, sorry, 3 tanks is going to be probably the move out timing, I would imagine, for Gumiho. He likes attacking. Does have a quicker third command center though, so maybe he just plays it defensively. He doesn't have as many Marines. He's only at 7 versus 15, so Byun's army is actually more frightening. Third Raven will pop faster for Gumiho due to his better opening, but we'll see what happens from there. So we've had some maths. People were asking, why would you get +2 vehicle weapons? It doesn't change any of the maths with how many tank shots it takes to kill the opponent's tanks. Now, I don't think +1 changes that either, actually, if we think about it, right? Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's always going to be 3 shots no matter what in siege tank versus siege tank. But apparently, if they have +3 armor, you get +2 vehicle weapons, it one-shots a stimmed Marine. Not to mention, there's gradations of fall-off with the splash damage on the tank, so it does make a difference. Gumiho right now heavily outnumbered on the Marine front. His Ravens have a little more energy, and his first 2 Vikings, very important. That's going to allow him to intercept these Ravens before they enter. If Byun goes in here, it's going to be like a big committed shove. Cyclone is the one thing that's keeping Gumiho's air units back right now. Third command center landing, morphing into an orbital command center. Gumiho's already up 6 workers. 1-1 upgrades are started. Double reactor goes down. The extra barracks just about to finish here for Gumiho. They're not too far behind. His own 1-1 miles ahead. And this is the way Gumiho sometimes likes to play, right? He gets those upgrades well before any units come out. It's a real 2016 way of playing. We used to always think if you're playing economic, you want to go 3rd command center, double engineering bay. And then players kind of realized over time that, yeah, you're just not going to have any units or stim out until like 2-2's finished. So you can actually get those 3 barracks before the engineering bays, and then you can usually have a whole bunch of Marines, medevacs, stim, combat shields, all lining up with the 1-1 upgrades. And that gives you more fluid combat capabilities rather than, no, we're just turtling until 2-2's finished. Apparently +2 siege tanks also do one-shot SCV pulls. So I guess that kind of depends on the armor as well. So we'll keep our eyes on that as time goes on. Cyclone's running on forward. Picks off that Marine. He's moving down here. We've got a Cyclone there as well. Okay. Nice little cyclone run by for Gumiho being annoying, but look at this. Oh, this is a crazy little maneuver. Look at that. He's like, I'm gonna land some Vikings. Is this worth it though? It feels like unless he's gonna capitalize with a frontal push, it might not be worth it, but the Raven's going down to the auto turrets. Okay, one of them survives just barely, and their interference matrix as well. He's only gonna lose a few SCVs, 6 SCVs, and you know what was huge? The cyclone running in there made Byun pull his army back to defend. If his army ran in here at the same time, who knows, maybe he's got enough to just bust it. I mean, 3 tanks did stay siege, so it would have been a kind of awkward fight. But he loses all of his Ravens, guys, and he loses 4 Vikings. Now you've got air dominance for Gumiho. You've got 2-2 upgrades started. The armory is about to finish. 2-2 ends up, yeah, not far behind there. And he's got way more Marines. So this tends to happen. This is why I do think just getting 2nd and 3rd barracks into the 1-1, or the double engineering bay, that became standard for a reason. It just works out to be more solid, more well-rounded. Oh my god, Byun wants to shove in, but then he gets clipped by a tank, and Siege's in range, forces the cancel on the 4th just with that position. Well done, mate. Wait, did Byun's tank just not fire back? Did you guys just see that? Didn't he have a scanner? Can you guys remind me to check 9:30 in this replay? Shout it out when it looks like the game's ending, even before it's ending, because you guys are on 2-minute delay. If it just looks like, oh, game's pretty much over, just remind me, okay, guys? That's a good cancel. 4th command center has not rebuilt yet for Gumiho. He's going to go across with some Marine medevac. Interference matrix could be used here, so what you can do is you can just interference the front's two tanks, move your 2 tanks forward, siege up in range of them. Oh, he gets a medevac, not bad. Now he's going to see these medevacs coming forward, and he's going to have to stim to get out of there. Ooh, he'll lose a few on the way out. 2 Marines do go down. 3, maybe get 5 as they turn the corner, I think. Oh no, no second stim for Byun. So Gumiho does get out of there. Still got that army up on the left, just outside of sensor tower range. Gumiho does not know that they're still there. He could probably assume, but he's got to be a little careful. He's going to try and shift these tanks forward a little. 4th command center is finally building up in the main, but it took him a while to rebuild that. Now, there is a 4th making into a planetary and a 5th over there. Gumiho's going to bypass him. Uh-oh. Byun's going to get caught on the way home. Byun with a gap in his map vision. He gets caught on the way home. The armies blunder into each other. Byun with a fantastic reaction speed. He's going to try and pick up and boost to that right side. He's worried about his natural, though. Shades of that last game. He is so worried about that happening again. The Raven Viking plus the stim. That's going to be a dead medevac. That one with the tanks in it is funnily enough going to get past. The Vikings will try to chase that down. These tanks are basically just a distraction at this point, as it's a foregone conclusion. As we said, Vikings faster than medevacs when they're not boosted. Marines coming in. They're going to take down the SCV, building the command center. This is a 6th command center, though. So this is not just 4th or 5th. That is a 6th command center, 5th base. And that's huge, man. Depot's going down for Byun. He doesn't really need them. They're finishing at the same time as this puts him at 195 supply anyway. But it is what it is. A few extra depots never hurt anyone. 3-3 upgrades and +2 vehicle weapons on the way for Gumiho. And you can see that those tanks do get better and better damage. These tanks here with +1, 44 damage. It'll go up to 48 when they get that +2. Which means no matter the armor upgrades, it will always one-shot Marines and SCVs. And Marines coming on in. Planetary does defend itself. Gumiho's still dancing around this map. He's up 15 army supply, down just 4 workers. And thinking about securing this base on the right. More command centers on the way. He doesn't have enough map vision. This Marine run by, Byun is like, you know what? Yeah, the natural is a weak point. Let me show you why! And he stims in. That is like 45 Marines. A great angle for them. He takes out the tank. He crumbles the Marines. Gumiho's going to desperately try and break Byun on the map in answer to that. So yeah, I can do stuff too, but nowhere near as good a fight for him. And these Marines dive in on the natural, and he punishes Gumiho exactly the way Gumiho punished him in game 1. Alright guys, Shopify Rebellion's Byun down here in the bottom right of this map. Let's flip the scoreboard. And the top left, Gumiho having the tables turned on him. We did forget to check that 9:30 in that last game. I apologize, guys. Had to dart on up, and we'll check that later if we get a chance. Chat did spam 9:30, but I forgot because I am a silly child. I honestly think the tank probably did get a shot off. I think it just shot the Marines first, and it only got 1 shot on the enemy tank, and there was probably 2 tanks shooting it, so just died before it could get a 3rd shot off. Would have made sense there. Gumiho's going to scout Sees that nice early factory, and of course pops his own down. Byun playing very brave, no scouting for him this time. Of course, that game finished really suddenly, so I was like, oh. Just like, okay, gonna send me Marines across. And that's a really good thing to do. If you guys ever get in a position where your opponent's just controlling the map too well, you can't really get any pushes going, you can't get around them. What's a really kind of relaxing thing to do, I find, rather than trying to force the issue with my army, is just go mega macro, build lots of command centers, go to Ravens or Liberators or Battle Cruisers, build lots of tanks, set up your defenses, and basically just grab like 80-90% of your Marines, throw them, and just try to sneak them across the map. And you're still solid because you're defending at home with all those siege units. Oh, Byun! Oh, he gets the SCV and the Reaper. Holy shit. He just they tried to double team him, and he was like, no! And he slapped them down. Oh my god. That was insane. Byun getting an awesome trade, and now he comes back in with 2 Reapers, and there is a reactor about to pop out 2 more, but yeah. That another SCV, the Hellion, taking some damage. Now, he should, I think Byun's going a little deep, but he's already done so much damage. I think it's worth it. He's going to get at least 1 more SCV. Could get 2 more even if he just commits. He's going to go for the Hellion. So he goes for the trade on the combat unit, and he gets 2 more SCVs. No! No! Are you kidding me? Oh my god, he just taps. He was so far behind. He just got out microed. Byun, Chad Gamer. Well, guys, here we go. In the top right, this is Byun. Just absolutely monster moding his opponent in that last one. Oh my god, in the bottom left, this is Psystorm Gaming's Gumiho, who kind of rage quit after he was basically dead. That was super painful start for him. He's going to do a proxy Rex now. He's going to take the fight back to his opponent. Oh, this SCV is going to get spotted. Oh, this is so bad for Gumiho. Wait. Does Byun see that? Did Byun just see that SCV? They both passed through the fog at the exact same time, the mist. Now he's looking for proxy racks. Did he see that? He looks like he suspects something. Oh, he's going to go 2 barracks. Yeah, okay. So I think he realizes. Hey, we saw something. Maybe Gumiho didn't see him, but he saw Gumiho. Oh, so he's gonna counter the 2 racks, proxy with the 2 racks at home, and he says, yeah, I'll defend it, and then I'll be building add-ons on my barracks. I can play 2-on-1, and your barracks have to float all the way home. You're just gonna be way behind from the start. You've already sacrificed an SCV to get your barracks down faster. This is such a good response from Byun. His first Reaper starts up a few seconds earlier. His second barracks is about 8 seconds behind, but that's totally fine because he can just defend the high ground. This is awesome. Pig, I think he's overextending. Byun, hold my beer. That's absolutely it. I thought he was overextending, man. And then you guys lost my reaction, I think, at some point when I moved my mic. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, there's no way this works. Gumiho's winning? Gumiho's winning the Reaper trade! Wait, that Reaper's gonna get out. That Reaper's out. Oh, Gumiho's gotta leave. Oh, no, he stayed too long. Byun coming back. But wait. Byun. Oh, he's out there. Byun being a little bit cheeky, but he's got a Marine out. Okay. At the end of the day, it's a 1-for-1 Reaper trade. Factory's on the way behind this for both players. Slightly faster for Byun, who is up 2 SCVs. Now, both sides are building Reapers. The next fight could still decide a lot of things. We'll see what the hell happens. SCV going over there to the command center, mate. So he's going to try and just expand on the low ground. He's just going to keep building Reapers because Gumiho knows if he stops, he could just get counterattacked. And he's up a little bit in the Reaper production, right? Hallion's now building. He's going to go Cyclones behind this. So he's going to go for the superior unit. but he's going to have the later expansion. And those units are going to come up a bit later. So he's sending his Reapers home, which is the right way to do it. If you're playing like low GM on NA, you just hide the Reapers over here, and then when he attacks you, you run in and you kind of like just go for his workers while trying to survive at home with a Cyclone and an SCV pool. And that's about it. You just gamble. But in this case, yeah, he's going to pull back, play it a bit safer. Equal workers on both sides, which tells us that Byun has missed some SCV production. So Byun definitely missed some SCVs. That's a slight bummer. Command Center has to go up on the high ground though, so that's a pretty big disadvantage for Gumiho. It's also later. But the barracks is able to be used as a scout, which is nice. Reactors on the way, no tech lab just yet. Reaper Hellion thinking about going to attack the natural. And it's going to be a double Cyclone follow-up for Gumiho here to try and make this what it needs to be. Just getting his way back into the game. Gas going up on the natural. Reaper Hellion having a bit of a pokey poke. Reaper does go down. He doesn't quite kill that SCV. Oh, he gets a great grenade on the enemy. Reapers does kill the Cyclone, but he's going to lose almost all of his Hellion Reaper for it. Was that worth it? I don't know. I mean, units lost tab. It looks worse for Byun than for Gumiho so far. I think Gumiho's doing a pretty good job of getting out of this, and he does have a Cyclone up, right? Where is that? No? Oh, he didn't build a second Cyclone, hey? Yeah, he did not. Okay, so we decided to go into just a tank after that. Okay. Starting Ravens, building another tech lab. He's going to transfer a lot of workers down now. Is Gumi a little weird to transfer extra rather than just rally down to the natural, but it is what it is. Reaper's going to do what it can do. He's going to come on in and try to take down the Hellions. Reaper for a Hellion's fine, as long as he doesn't die to the other units. And uh-oh. Nice Marine intercept. Gumiho losing 2 Reapers there. Just a bloody smear here left on the glittering ashes. And only one more game for Byun to win the grand finale. And that would be pretty awesome for him. You also remember, Byun is one of these players who's in the running to get a spot in the play-in bracket. If Zest ends up going to the military before March, which is very likely, he has to give up his spot. And that means it's going to be, I think, between Byun and... that means Zaun is not the last spot. It means suddenly there's a big jump down, and it's between, I think it's Byun and Ragnarok to see who will get it. So those two guys are very even. These guys are all about like the 600, 700 EPT points for the year. So it's actually kind of important there. Command center is low. We've got 2 barracks trying to pump out some Marines, some Stims, some Medevacs. So he's going to prepare for like that 2-1-1 sort of follow-up. Double Raven on the other side. So Gumiho's in a more kind of tank Raven Viking situation. We expect him to build Vikings, whereas it's just going to be Medevac Bio tank multi-prong from Byun. So Byun, I mean, his 3rd command center is up a bit slower. It feels like, you know, economically Gumiho's great. You just got to look at the army numbers to see how much trouble Gumiho's in though. Because it's equal tanks. He's up a Raven, but he's down 15 Marines, and you've got Stim about to kick in. There'll be combat shields behind that, not to mention you've got 2 medevacs. So what if like 2 tanks and 8 Marines get boosted in the back and sieged in the back of the base, right? He's got a tank covering a lot of the main. He's got a missile turret on the edges. Oh, that's very wise. But even then, he's so busy covering the edges, it's like, what if your front gets busted? What if he just runs in and unloads Marines on your face? And securing the 3rd is going to be... this is not something that's just automatically going to happen. It's going to be a real problem solving that needs to be done for Gumiho. And how the hell do I get out to that 3rd base? And he's actually building his own medevacs. That I find very peculiar. I thought he'd be going up into the Viking count, but I think he has a good read. He scans, he sees this setup, and he's like, yeah, medevacs are being built. He saw this one medevac above the rally with that scan, so he knows what's up. Tank's thinking about coming in on this angle and sieging up from the low ground, but the Vikings saw it, so he's being careful. Oh, Gumiho. Gumiho doesn't seem to realize what's up. Yeah, he walks into the tank fire. Does get the Cyclone, so that's okay for him. Gumiho's really... He's got to use his Vikings, I think, to scout this army out. Just float in, check where he's at, and see what happens from there. 55 workers to 50 in favor of Byun over Gumiho right now. We've got... Oh, we sent the Ravens across for a bit of a cheeky backstab, and... Oh, get out of there. Gumiho does not have Stim. Byun does. Okay, Stim kicks in just in the nick of time, as does his combat shield upgrade. Tanks are here in a bit of a line. They're not covering the gas, but do they really need to be? Probably not. And the Ravens! He's making Ravens tasteless. Auto turret goes up in the main base and already forcing a big pull. 3, 4 SCVs potentially going down. He's going to drop some on the third as well. Double Raven has a lot of energy, man. Those SCVs not being pulled. And here we go. He's going for it. Byun's going to try and dive in the double cuck matrix. He's got one tank on the high ground. That tank going to save his bacon. Gets a couple big shots off on Byun and forces him back. The Raven's going to go back into the main base. Gumiho says, I'm doing damage to you. He's also snuck Marines across. If they stim in the natural, that could be game over. Honestly, if he just stims in and A moves the natural, this could be game over. Byun's going to have to kill him at home, and he does pretty well, but that tank is still anchoring the position. He's trying to shepherd his units forward. A tank goes down. Ravens take out the other tank. The Marines getting on top of the rally here. Gumiho going for broke. I think he should just go for the SCVs, but he wants the production. He's going for the all-in victory, and I think it's going to go well. He's getting 20 SCVs and more. He's lost his mining on his natural, but that's okay. He thinks about dropping on the tanks, but they are guarded. The Ravens are going to be taking shelter in the dead space in the back of the base. He's done so much damage. Gumiho will not go down without a fight. He does the cheeky backstabs, entrenched defenses, and even though he's slowly getting pushed back by the tanks, he is not dying to those tanks. And oh, nice move with the Marines. They get inside the tank's minimum firing range. SCVs getting their asses handed to them. A lot of SCVs starting to die on Gumiho's side of the map, but even as I say that, he finds the exposed siege tanks, and that should do the trick. His Marines are going to come on in there, and he should be able to take that up. Wait, there's another tank over there. Okay, that one will go down as well. Marines in the main base pick off the reactor. Byun's actually up 10 SCVs. Those Marines on the third killing so many. The Ravens come back in. He denies even more mining with the auto turrets. Now that tank should be able to 3-shot the turret, so the turret won't quite get the kill. Almost does, but not quite, as that auto turret is a bit far away. Gumiho's up on army supply. He's down on workers, both sides on 3 orbitals. We still have Ravens hidden in the back, ready to keep dropping auto turrets, which could come in big. Obviously, he's rebuilding his reactor, but if Byun builds some Vikings, he can hunt these Ravens down. 1 will return home. 2-2 upgrades are almost done for Gumiho. As long as Gumiho holds down the SCV key, I think he gets way ahead in this game over the next few minutes, just because his infrastructure is a little better right now. He's got the full 5 barracks, he's got the starport pumping, but he's not building SCVs. And this tells me that Gumiho is actually just going to try and kill his opponent with the 2-2 versus 1-1 advantage. And I mean, that could work. It's just surprising in such a situation of limited information for him to do that. And look at that. Byun scans and says, oh, there is still a Raven in the back. What a bizarre choice to do that. He'll build 2 Vikings, but he's supply blocked right now. Gumiho is moving across the map. He started rebuilding SCVs now, but he already has a giant army of Marines, and he's got the double upgrade advantage. Now, 4 tanks versus 2. Gumiho does not have the tank advantage, and there's a big Marine attack that's going to kill him. Oh, that's too many Marines. He can't defend that with his production. He cannot defend that with his production. The best defense is a good offense, says Byun. Oh, he misclicked his Marines. Get in there. Okay, they do get in there. That's a dead base, man. At the same time, Gumiho pushes in, but the tank's on the high ground. It's the exact same move that Gumiho used earlier in this game is now being used by Byun. Defend with tanks on the high ground, give up natural control, but just shove in at the same time. Now, these Marines, it looks like just enough to defend. He's already lost his command center, but he didn't lose too many SCVs. And Gumiho's going to get the E-Bays. Wait. This is a salvageable position. He gets rid of all the SCVs in the natural. They didn't run away. The engineering bay was blocking them, trapping them up there. And he gets rid of a ton of depots. Byun is in supply block town. The Raven comes forward and drops the interference matrix, spots the high ground. The tanks get that kill. These Marines are filtering into the siege tanks right now. And Byun has to tap out. I thought he had that, but he didn't evacuate the natural, and he was not able to deal with that push. I thought he could get that command center lifted, pull the SCVs, give up a few depots, but his engineering bays in the natural were exposed, and Gumiho ties up the series. All right, everybody, here we go. Bottom right side, going for a proxy barracks. The aggression is not going to end. This knife fight's just getting started. That is a 13 depot right there. That's right, he's doing a double 15 barracks. This is Byun. What do I mean? I mean, he's cut SCV production. He's skipping SCVs because you need a depot before you can build a barracks, and he wants to build that barracks really early. He's actually going 14 racks. Oh my god, he's going for the most aggressive Reaper rush in the game. Double 14 racks. Oh my lord. His opponent Gumiho in the top left, repping Psystorm. Let's hope he scouts in this game, because my god, that's an early double barracks. It's barracks into the gas, into the second barracks. 14. So it's 13 depot, 14 racks, 14 gas, 14 racks, and he'll queue up another SCV. only now with his next 50 minerals. This is so all in. I mean, excuse me, it's very committed. Let's put it that way. This is a very committed, aggressive build order. Now, wouldn't it be funny if the SCV going on the straight path across the map just sees this? Wouldn't that be terrible placement if that was the case? But no, he knows his business. It's just outside of there. He said, look, if he looks for it, he finds it. But as long as he doesn't look for it, we're going to get away with this. He does make an orbital and a Reaper straight away on just 16 supply. Goes up to 17 supply, of course, because the Reaper takes one up. So he's down 3 SCVs already. The Reaper in the orbital for Gumiho is on the way. And Gumiho will be thinking about a factory. He'll come in and he'll be like, oh shit, okay. And he'll go like, wait, single gas? Huh? What? Oh my God. Single gas tells you you're either being proxy marauded or some sort of really in-your-face proxy. Something much more aggressive, much more mineral-focused. He's trying to build Marines after that Reaper. Marines build faster than Reapers. You can build 2 Reapers in 36 seconds, whereas it takes 32 seconds for only 1 Reaper to build. So the Reapers almost take as long as 2 Marines. And you can see he's trying to gather up right now. He's trying to get back up there. He's scouting around. He has not seen this barracks. He doubled back and he's looking around. He does not know it's right outside his base. And he's going to go up that left side as Byun. Byun's going to go for it. If he can get the Reaper, that would be huge. He does start focusing the SCV, but that depot's limiting his area. And look at that. He goes down. He loses one. He's got to get that Reaper. He gets it. At least he gets the trade. That keeps Byun's hopes alive here. He's got to not throw away units for free. He gets a Marine. Gumiho loses a Marine there. Oh, that's very tough. Now the SCVs are pulled, but look at this. He can focus down the Marine potentially. He could have ran past and hit it, but of course wants to let those Reapers heal, wait for the next few Reapers, and then go in, and if he can get the Hellion, it could be game over. The SCV of Gumiho just chilling. Factory is going up at home. He's going in for another wave. Every single unit is sacred on both sides of this equation. The Hellion, 2 Marines are there. Another Hellion and another Marine about to pop. Byun goes deep to try and force the fight. He bounces the grenade towards the Marines, but the Hellion! The Hellion evades! Byun goes too deep! Byun goes too deep! And Gumiho says, you should have waistbanded that one, dickhead. Gives him a cheeky wink and a nudge, and I think, honestly, that chasing that Hellion baited him. You could see that Hellion was deep in the red. It was twerking, and those Marines just got a bit too excited. They tried to chase it down, man. They tried to chase it down. If they didn't do that, he'd still have a lot of Reapers. He could still keep him contained. But now it's a full defensive focus for Byun, who's trying to get up a Cyclone. He is supply blocked right now and trying to defend his command center. This Reaper, he should pop that out the right side and just get it as far away from these Hellions as possible. Yeah, you see he changes the rally point, make sure that rallies away. So one barracks becomes an unashamed pervert, starts scouting. The other one will float home. It's going to give him some scouting information about what's going on. It's actually one base. Full 1 base for Gumiho. A lot of people in this scenario pull off gas and build command center, but he's actually going really early Ravens. So, I mean, yeah, he'll look for the command center on the low ground. The Reaper's actually going to try and fight this. He sees there's no Cyclone out, so he's like, yeah, I could fight this. No, you cannot, Byun. Get out of there, buddy. Oh, and remember, Hellions outrun Reapers, but a good grenade there buys him a bit of space, only loses one of them. Scouting barracks, unashamed pervert is now a dead pervert, and it does go down. Starport there, factory with the tech lab coming on in. Gumi defends, he survives, and you know what, guys? He's way ahead on the tech units. He has a tank popping, a Raven out, a medevac about to be out. Awesome position. But economy's fine for Byun. Byun's already up 2 workers. He has a second orbital finished versus a command center just starting. And he has, in fact, baited a bit of an overreaction. He's got a Viking building out of the starport. Yeah, he doesn't have a reactor yet. He's just starting it now. But he can build another Viking. He can build another tank. He's got the 3rd gas rolling. And if he defends any sort of pressure or counter push from Gumiho, well, he's looking great, isn't he? Now, I'd love to see the medevac pick up the tank and bring that across for this push. But it's all about, can you defend the push as Byun? And he's way behind on army supply. Look, he's less than half the army supply. He doesn't have a bunker. It's going to be tough. That being said, the Raven only has 1 interference matrix or 2 auto turrets. The other tank gets picked up. So is this 2 medevacs? Why have you got 2 medevacs, Gumi? What a bizarre build order. 2 medevacs. I feel like that's got to be a mistake. He goes back to a Raven now after building 2 medevacs. He's got his natural finishing. His gas will be mining. Gumiho's doing something special. I don't know what the heck it is right now, guys. Oh, it's just a Doom drop. Oh, he's just going to pick up 2 tanks, 8 Marines, and he's just going to go in on the production, and everything's focused on the natural. Gumiho going for broke here. Oh, such a big commitment, but it seems like it's perfect. Look at that. He has to come up the ramp. The auto turret got blocked. The auto turret got blocked. There we go. He drops the 2 auto turrets. One of the tanks gets focused down by Byun. Gumiho's only got 1 tank left alive. The SCVs are going to get on top. The auto turret there is fighting the other auto turrets. Byun should have clicked it on the siege tank. The Drilly boys might actually defend this push. 11 SCVs go down. Oh, he's not quite able to get the Raven. Good micro by Byun. Keeps that alive. And you know what, guys? Gumiho, he maintains the army lead. He ties up the workers a little bit, but I wouldn't say that's an epic lead or anything like that. That Marine just got 2 more SCVs. What the hell? 1 Marine got ignored, left behind in the main, and just picked off 2 of those low hit point SCVs. Very nicely done. Ooh, even more SCVs going down. Gumiho striking in from the top and the bottom at the same time. He's going to build that trademark 3rd base on location. We'll see what he can do there. He's still got the 2 medevacs, so he could still branch off and try and drop multiple areas. It's trying to control the space, trying to see what's up. Byun has a red hit point Raven, and that SCV will slowly start to drill that back up to full hit points. He's going to try and rebuild those SCVs, very importantly. Tanks. Vikings will be next on his list, but he's got so little vision, and that gives Gumiho just a lot of initiative in how the next few fights unravel. Vikings on the way. And looks like he's going to split the medevacs. Now, these are fake medevacs. Guys, he's going to show the medevacs poking in from both sides and then pull them back a little. He's just trying to basically pull his opponent out of position and then bust the front. Or, actually, no, it's a contain. He's using these to spot to see if any drops come out. So he's like, hey, if he sneaks out a drop or something, these medevacs hopefully will spot it for him. Really cute play by Gumiho. So he's just saying, hey, it's going to be hard for you to ever move down that ramp. And this is always dangerous. Vikings come out and clean that medevac up on the left side. 3rd Command Center is almost finished. Double barracks, double engineering bay on the way. And same thing for Byun. I mean, Byun's even on workers. He's got the 3rd Command Center finished, right? He's got the orbital. He wants to float it down. He doesn't know about these units. So if you like Byun, cross your fingers for him sending a Marine out first to realize what he's up against. And there we go. That Marine tells him, oh, you're still out there. Okay, buddy. Well, I've got interference matrices and Vikings building up. I've got the Viking count, and he actually does. He's up 1 Viking right now. He doesn't know that for sure, but if he grabs these other Vikings, he can push down there and just bust this with interference matrix. But notice that Cyclone of Gumi, really well positioned. The Marines as well, very well done. Auto turrets are going to go down. Ravens will land. One of the Ravens does go down. Sorry, the Vikings land. And those tanks do get taken out. Nice usage of the Ravens to break out of the position. Byun will resecure his 3rd, and this game looks surprisingly close. It has been such a hard-fought and close series between these two. And yeah, I'm looking for a big sizable advantage. Your reactors are on the way. His reactor is on the way. The exact same time. They are literally to the second. 4th and 5th barracks is a little quicker for Byun. We might see the 2nd factory before that for Gumi, though. No, looking at his mineral to gas ratio, he needs the extra barracks. He doesn't have the gas for a factory. Those Vikings going to be very important. Now, he's got like a little poking squad here, but this is just that. It's a poking squad. He's got 4 Marines in the natural, and he's going to try and siege up the high ground. Viking battle! Whoa! Okay, it looks like the Ravens are gone completely for Byun, but having a land there for Gumiho. That Viking does get taken out by the Cyclone, gets a few SCVs. He also picks up in the top after just getting a couple of those workers. I really like this play by Gumiho. It's just a very low commitment. Now, obviously, he shouldn't stay here too long because this is not a big army, and he could get busted. I would say by the 11-minute mark, he should have unsieged and pulled back. Otherwise, Byun will be able to crush him, but you never know. Because look at this, he's being so annoying with it. He's like, I'm going to kill another SCV here. Doesn't quite get it. That tank staying sieged up does help him stay defended. And he actually ends up leaving the tank and just abandoning it. The Vikings like, hey, can't do that. The upgrades are lined up within 10 seconds of each other. Combat shields is also within 3 seconds of each other. The armory halfway done there for Byun. 2-2 starting up for Gumiho. This is still a close game. Gumiho, of course, I feel has a slight lead because he's up in workers. He's got a faster 4th, but army-wise, he's not ahead anymore. It's equal Marines. more tanks for Byun. A lot more tanks for Byun. And there's not even tanks building for Gumiho right now. Gumiho has this weird army. Where is the tank production? Gumi, what is going on? Where's your gas income? He's taking gases on his 3rd. He spent gas on 2-2. And he's trying to send a Marine counterattack across the map, maybe? Finally, a tank queues up, but he's very low on gas. So I think maybe he was off gas on his natural for a little bit. Something happened there. Maybe it was just the expense of the 2-2. He starts that factory. He's on 5 barracks. 5 barracks there as well. Byun is going to start his second factory. Byun's behind on the 4th command center, but otherwise this is a very even game. We see that habit I was talking about earlier in the series. He starts +2 armor, didn't have the money for +2 weapons. This time around, luckily, there weren't many distractions, so he goes back and checks it and does start that +2 attack as well. Just about 5 seconds behind. Not too bad. Gonna try and fight for map control here. The tank advantage still scares me for Gumi. He's up 8 Marines. 8 Marines does not make up for a 5 tank advantage. Or disadvantage, I should say. 2 Vikings going down. That's a good start to the fight for Gumi. If Gumi gets air control, he could use Liberators to tie that up as well. Getting more tanks out now. Where's his second factory up? It's in the natural. He needs to make sure he remembers that tech lab. When there's fighting going on, that's one of the first things that gets forgotten. I know this because this factory for me often sits there for 2 whole minutes doing nothing. And I'm just tapping my factory key, queuing up tanks 2 at a time, thinking I'm building them on 2 different factories. I go back to my main and I see 1 factory with 5 tanks in the queue and go, what? Oh no. Gumiho, thankfully, a much greater player than I am. And does remember that one, but he's about a minute ahead on the upgrades as well. The Liberator comes in. It's funny. He's expecting a 4th here. Byun didn't realize he's taking the top base. I love Gumiho's expansion pattern. The reason he's taking the top is that just focuses everything up here. And it means as long as he controls this watchtower in this area, you can't really doom drop into his main. You have to drop along the back of the natural. Bit easier to defend there because your rally point usually is along that angle anyway. Marines are going to come into the natural, focus down the lib. It only gets 1 Marine. Very good cleanup. Liberator on the top for Byun. Trying to sneak past, but the Vikings are there. I think he spotted it, so... yeah, he's queued that. He's like, I don't know if it snuck past me or not, so yeah, we'll just queue along the edge. He will find it. Right now, unit count. 4 tank advantage still there for Byun. Byun down just a handful of Marines. 3-3 is on the way, much quicker there for Gumi. Gumi dives! Uh-oh, but he's dead at home then, right? Tanks in the open. Can he secure his main base? He's got another reserve tank there. He's going to try to pull back. And, okay, he kills the 4th, but then the tanks come forward and siege up. He's got to pull back. Gumiho, time to F2 home, I think, buddy. And he's going to lose a command center. So they've both lost a command center. Is this a planetary? Yeah, there's a planetary and some Ravens with auto turrets up there. So I think this is an okay spot for Gumi to be in, as well as Byun. I think both of them are like, well, that was annoying. And Gumiho actually has the extra command center, so he could just lift that down there once that finishes. And I think for both sides, it's been really about catching each other off with these Marine backstabs, right? They both want to be the aggressor. None of these guys has the Maru capability of just pulling out purely defensive play, shutting down your opponent at every turn, and just playing a better game. They both want the tempo and the momentum because they're both tempo and momentum focused players. Gumiho normally does it with weird mech strategies and very unique build orders, slower positioning. Byun, of course, traditionally did it through his mechanics, but he now also does it in a more similar vein to Gumiho, I would say. He's actually more of a, I'm gonna, just macroing up positionally, but oh my god, Byun's pushing forward. Gumiho's not aware of where his army is. Gumiho's caught out his tanks in the open, and Byun dives. He gets rid of 3 of those tanks on the front line. He does cop a pretty big tank volley, though, from the tanks in the back. So I don't think that's the end of the world for Gumiho. Immediately sends every Marine across the map like the psychopath that he is. He's building more command centers, more Marines and tanks. Both sides heading towards 3-3. Gumiho's already almost there. He's going to stim in. There's only 1 tank out there. He's going to take it down. The rest of the army's coming back. And I think because of that, going in here, very dangerous, much better choice to pull back. If he ran into that natural, I'd be like, dude, are you sure you want to throw away 60 Marines? That is a wild choice. Even the way he's moving now is kind of strange. He's threatening to take the fight, but he's overstimmed. And if those tanks get any volleys off, he'll be in big trouble. I do like the medevacs boosting. He gets the Vikings. He still has the Marine advantage, but yeah, he's got to leave. He's got to leave. He's got to get more medevacs out here to heal these up as well. These Marines, oh, they're starting to take really bad fights, I think. This is good for Byun. It feels like it's good for Byun. The Viking Liberator comes forward, the tanks as well. Gumiho is trying to like jump on top. He's got 3-3 versus 2-2. I think that's part of what's giving him confidence. Does get a few of these medevacs down as well. Oh, he's even going to get another one. There's no Marines here. Where's the anti-air? Byun's going to stim some Marines forward. He's going to come. Great arc for Byun. Amazing arc for Byun. Pulls his Marines back and he says, let the tanks clean that up. I'll clean the libs up with me Marine Viking just afterwards. Very nicely done. Gets both of the libs, pulls back. His 4th is up in the bottom. 4th base is rebuilt here for Gumiho. He's got extra orbitals as well. And here we go, stimming on forward onto the tanks. The tanks get caught unsieged, but Gumiho does not have the numbers, I don't think. So it feels like this is an okay fight for Byun, even though the start of it looked messy. That tank there, unsieged, but killing one of Gumiho's tanks. And Gumiho, he's still down 2 tanks to 10. He's never caught up on that. He's somehow up in supply. They're identical workers. Neither of them has like the unlimited income of 85 workers. And we are in game 5 of such a hard-fought grand finals. This is the longest NA EPT weekly we've had in months. We have not seen it go this long in a long time. Tanks coming on forward. The siege tank's going to siege up there for Gumiho. Byun, though, he's got the position. That command center will need to lift off and get out of there. He does so. Where's the Liberator? You've got the air control. You're way down on tanks. You need a Liberator to tie this situation up, Gumiho. He's building 2 of them right now. They'll be out in about 10 seconds, but they're not ready. That tank gonna have to fall back. He's gonna lose his tech lab potentially, which would be a big problem because he's already behind on the siege tanks. Can't have that production get impeded. Liberators will move forward here. They're going to help equalize a little bit. He's going to send some Marines and Ravens across the map. But look at this. Byun's just shoving him. Byun shoves forward, breaks the tank line. Gumiho never wanting to defend. Like I said, he always wants to go around and counterattack. But Byun has adapted and adjusted and handled it so darn well. Interference Matrix auto turret goes down, as well as the Shredder missile. I apologize, saying the wrong ability at the start there. The Marines take out the tanks, the Marines. He's going to kill a lot of these SCVs. Nice play by Gumi. He's got so much healing. He's got so much healing! The Medevac's actually doing a good bit of tanking there. He kills 17 workers. He does some crucial damage. Gumiho's so far up in supply. The problem for him, as always, is the tank count. But will he be able to capitalize on that? Byun's base in the bottom, completely unscouted. If Gumiho got like 3 Marines in that mineral line, it would be a massive disruption to Byun, who's only on 48 SCVs. This game, Gumiho, I think his economy, it's the extra orbital. He's had this extra orbital the whole time. He's on 3 versus 3. Oh no, he lifted his main down. That's what's happened. Oh, he's got a floating command center. This game is going weird, man. I'm having trouble keeping up with what's going on. It feels like now, though, 6 tanks versus 8. That's not too bad. He's up 16 Marines. He does have the Viking advantage and a Liberator. Suddenly, where is Byun's advantage going to come from? He's not rebuilding his SCVs. This is Byun's main base as well floated down. Dude, that's really bad for Byun, and the SCV finds it. And he even says, taste my drill, dickhead. The other 2 SCVs say, our drill's bigger than yours, buddy. Watch yourself. Check yourself before you deck yourself, mate. And man, +3 armor versus 5 damage attacks equals pretty damn slow and anticlimactic battle, but it is what it is. And Gumiho, it looks like now he's securing the lead and could be heading towards the finish. He's got a much larger army. The question is, can he bring that weight to bear in an efficient fight? We've seen a lot of attacks that have gone wrong this game. Things have gotten really weird. Oh, okay. Oh, ow, ow, dow, ow, dow, 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 ow, ow, ow. Liberator gets out of dodge. Gumiho is securing more command centers. Remember, Byun is doing a Byun. He does this against Protoss a lot. He's basically going for an all-in. What do I mean by that? He's not rebuilding SCVs. He's not building upgrades. He's not adding extra infrastructure. It is all about army, and he wants... It's like the almost like a defensive all-in, because he's not attacking. He's not like, I gotta kill you right now. He's saying, when the fight happens, I will have more things than you. I will, and if I can take one good fight, I'm gonna have that compounding on the fact that I already have more numbers than you, means I can just finish you right then and there. It doesn't matter how much more money and infrastructure and ravens and fancy things you have, because if I can win that one fight by having way more supply than you, then I win the game. Now, obviously, that's not the case right now, but it will be when he's maxed, because he's still down 20 workers. So he's going to be up about 20 army supply at max. He's not spending any time investing in other stuff. He's saying, let's just have a giant army, and if I can bring that weight to bear, I'll be good. Now, you got to remember that Gumiho, he's got to protect the natural, right? We saw how important that natural was earlier in this series. Gumiho is up on max supply. I'd actually like to see him in this scenario build insurance. And for me, insurance is 2 extra factories with tech labs in your main. So if it becomes a base trade, you can make tanks 4 at a time. He's going to try and shove here as Gumiho. Good fight for Byun. Byun's very happy with this fight. Trades a few Marines for a whole bunch of Marine tank of Gumiho. Byun, oh my god, he's got to get back though. Byun trying to shove down here is Gumiho, sorry, and Byun trying to hang on, and it looks like a good fight for Byun. Remember, he was waiting for the good fight, and it looks like he gets not just a good fight, but a great fight. Gumiho did not realize that Byun was not rebuilding his economy. I told you guys this was a defensive all-in. He was just going to wait and wait and wait until a good fight presented itself, and Gumiho literally hands it to him. He hands him the most amazing fight, a good fight on the bottom and an amazing fight on the top. And now Gumiho, with all this money, all this advantage, what's it worth? Well, he can now isolate those 2 bases. Now, obviously, Byun would like to kill. Byun doesn't want to just pick off 2 bases. Obviously, he'll start with that. He doesn't want to just throw the game away. He's going to siege this up. The Vikings can chase the command center that lifts. Smart moves for Byun. Oh, he's missed it, though. He missed the command center. Marines down there. Skirmishing. 3 more starports are building for Gumiho. So Gumiho is going to go up into more air units, apparently. They are down here. The Marines are still posturing. All those SCVs will go down. Every single one of the SCVs are like, oh, well, we might as well get some drills in, maybe get some friendly fire going. 30 SCVs fall, and I cannot believe this game has just turned upside down. Once again, this whole series has been backflip upon backflip upon backflip. The game is shaking itself around, turning itself upside down. And now, oh my god, Byun caught a little bit out of position. His tank's a little slow to siege, but there's only 1 tank in range for Gumiho. That was not a good fight for Gumiho because his tanks were all too far back. So Gumiho, he overextends again, and Byun just sitting here on 48 workers. Guys, this is exactly what you do when you're behind in a game. Don't focus on everything at once. Put all your eggs in one basket, and that is exactly what Byun has done. He has not built a worker in like 7 minutes. He's just like, this is it. 3 orbital command centers, Marines, tanks, and medevacs, and I'm just going to make more of them than you have. And all of my attention, all of my APM, all of my mental faculties are focused on finding a fight that can bring me back into this game. And don't get me wrong, Gumiho kind of handed it to him, but at the same time, he was ready to pounce, and pounce he has upon this potential victory. And I mean, it really does look like a victory now. A desperate Marine attack will go across the map here for Gumi. He's trying to send some tanks and some Marines across the map. He's like, well, maybe if I drop mules up here and then I get on your production, I can do it. But look, Byun's got a good army coming out in reserve, and I mean, he's a little down on the Marine count there, but these Marines are kind of wounded. And we're going to see an interesting little scenario up here. As Byun scans the top right, he's checking for corner bases right now. He doesn't realize that base in the top has been retaken. That command center will go down. He's got to pull back, Gumiho. Got to watch out, mate. You cannot eat those volleys. Every Marine is sacred for you right now. These Marines for Byun don't care about trading a few of them off for a tank. Nice trades for him. Oh, that's a mistake. Ow. A few extra volleys going down. More Marines meet their end. Now, has he seen this top base? Byun has. And now that Byun knows about it, he's like, cool, I'll just rotate up there, chop your economy down to pieces. And you are desperate. Gumiho coming out now. All of his bank has been spent. All of that earlier advantage is gone. His own Marine tank's going to try to come back. But these tanks, they're sieged, mate. This is not going to be super efficient for Gumiho. He does come from 2 sides, though. He actually synced that up really nicely. Ooh, and he focuses down the full medevac. Well done. Gumiho, though, still at half the supply. It may not be a huge economy for Byun, but comparatively, it is massive. It is huge. It is gigantic. What the heck? Someone just lagged. That is not me. Someone is lagging. That is not me. Someone lagging. I think it was... Okay, Dave just left the game. Maybe it was him. Ooh, this one's dicey. 3, 2, 1. A bunch of them just left. My ping did not change at all. My internet did not drop on my streaming PC. They're both using the same internet, so we are chill. Tanks, Marines having a good time. The Viking tank Marine coming forward there for Byun. He's going to try and drop on that tank up to the right. Man, I cannot believe this dude. Oh, shit. Okay. Still going to be a little cautious. This base in the top is so separate. And Byun's just going to go. He's like, yeah, we got this. I got the numbers, son. And he's going to dive on top, catches 3 of the tanks on siege. They pull back, they re-siege, he pulls back, and now he just goes around. He can just go hit the production, honestly, with his Marines. He doesn't even need to fight this head on. Those Marines are going to take a big volley. They barely get out of there in time. Well done. And now that he clears the watchtower and Gumiho doesn't have vision, this is when his Marines split around. They cut off the rally, they cut off the reinforce, and they stim for the win. It's a whole lot of men with guns, and my lord, what a turnaround in this knife fight of a Terran versus Terran. Byun wins 3-2 in such a hard fought, goddamn awesome grand finals. That was an incredible one. GG, well played.